There's snow. Oh, it's cold. And it's like raining ice right now. What's up guys? I'm Lizzie. Now, last summer I made a video on beginner mistakes. I'll link it up here. And one of the things I went over was leading your horse. If I still have that clip saved, I will put it in here right now.
So the normal modern way of handling a horse is to lead them with your hands, a nice grip right underneath their chin, and you're just going to drag them around like this, or sometimes they drag you around, and they get high and prancy. They're swinging their head around your face because you're keeping them right next to you. Some reasons why this can be bad is because, well, for one, you're keeping the horse right smack next to you, so if they're spooking or anything, they have to run into you in order to get away because you're holding them right here. You feel like you have control over them because you're holding them right here nice and secure, but in reality, they're a lot bigger, a lot stronger than you, and if they wanted to, they will plow you over. So this is not actually safer and does not actually give you more control. Another reason why it's bad is because you're going to be dulling your horse to this pressure. We want our horses to be really sensitive to pressure so that they move off of it really easily from the lightest touch, because that makes handling a horse easier. When we train them to light pressure and they move off of it, that is really helpful for us, so we don't have to manhandle them everywhere we go because they're stronger than us. So the correct way to lead a horse, in my opinion, is to have at least 2 or 3 feet of line between your hand and your horse, if not more.
On TikTok, I got quite a few different reactions from it because some people were saying, who the heck leads a horse like that? I've never seen that before. And others were saying, there's this comment in particular that I just want to read off because I want to remember exactly how she said it. So this is the comment that kind of, it didn't really surprise me, but I was like, okay, let's talk about this. The comment is, absolutely not. You are in clear firing line for a kick. If you are up near the head, you aren't in the way of the back legs and can move quickly. This is ridiculous. Seriously. Linda, listen. Linda, listen. Linda, listen. First, you should be asking why your horse is taking every opportunity they can to try to kick you. That is a great question to ask, and that should be your first response to a horse kicking you, not the way you are leading them. If you can't lead your horse with a loose rein because they are trying to kick you, what is that telling you? Why is your horse trying to kick you? And, okay. Can we as a equestrian society stop trying to normalize horse on the ground is dangerous, try to get on their back as fast as possible so you don't get kicked? That seems to be a super common way of thinking for equestrians, and it's extremely dangerous, and I just don't understand it. It's just like some people teach you to mount from facing this direction because if you're over here, the horse could kick you. Again, ask yourself, why is your horse trying to kick you? And if your answer is because they're jerk, brat, or whatever, they just don't like you, then rethink it. Go back over it again and try again. But also the reason I wanted to go over more specifics of leading your horse from the ground is because it is actually a very big part of the training, and a lot of people overlook it and it becomes something that you just do with your horse and it's not trained, and your horse learns bad habits because every interaction we have with the horse is training them, and they learn from release of pressure, so anything they do that releases pressure, they're going to do that again. And it's not them being bad or naughty, it's them looking for release and comfort. So when we are putting pressure on them, that is asking something of them, and when they don't find the release to that question, they're gonna pretty soon start ignoring you. So I wanna give an example as somebody who has brothers and siblings. This relates to me, but not this particular situation, but I want to put a hypothetical out there just to put it in perspective. Say your older sibling, your brother or whatever, has pinned you down to the ground and is got a little shocker pen thing, and he's clicking it right next to you and going, say sorry, say sorry, say sorry. And you're right there going, I'm sorry, I'm sorry, I'm sorry, I'm sorry. But when he keeps saying, say sorry, say sorry, say sorry, and keeps clicking the pen at you and like threatening you to shock you with it, you're gonna realize that saying sorry isn't actually the right answer, and you're gonna try a different approach and start kicking, screaming, whatever, trying to get your parents' attention or something. You know, it's a very specific scenario, and it hasn't happened to me. Similar things, probably, but not that specifically. But you could see in that scenario why you would stop saying sorry and try something else. Just like when you're putting pressure on your horse and you never give them release, they're gonna start trying something else because the right answer that they were giving you was not being noticed or they weren't getting that release of pressure. So recently, I've seen a handful of videos of girls leading horses or lunging horses and it going terribly wrong. Either the horse kicks out at them and hits them in the chest, or barely misses their head, or pulls away. Every scenario is bad. And this is also relating to leading your horse, giving them slack. And asking the question, why is your horse trying to kick you? All the time. So the number one most common thing I saw between all of these videos was that these girls were very oblivious when they were working with the horse. There was one video where a girl was lunging her horse and she seemed super oblivious to the horse's body language. There was another video where a girl was trying to stop her horse from pulling away from her and she just was yanking on the face and nothing else was happening. The horse just carried on its merry old way. So I want to try to help these situations and see if maybe this approach might help you in those kind of scenarios. When you are lunging a horse or leading them, first, it's very, very important to be very aware of their body language and what they are communicating with you. Learning horses' facial expressions and their body language takes a lot of time, and just, that's why I advocate for just being around your horse and spending time with them, not doing anything, just hanging out with them, letting them graze and stuff, because you get to know and understand their body language a lot with just being around them and seeing them interact with other horses and stuff. And also, if you happen to have videos of these kinds of accidents, go back and look at your horse's facial expressions moments before they kick out at you and see what they're saying, because they have it written all over their face. It's super easy to tell what they're saying once you know what to look for. And also, if you are in the mindset that you can't be next to your horse because they're going to try to kick you at any moment, maybe go back to the basics. Go way back to the very beginning until you have forgotten everything that you've learned in training. I feel like it's kind of a common thing that horse trainers are just taught from generations down. And a lot of the times, people that call themselves horse trainers were just taught by their horse trainer and so on. And nobody actually does any research or investigating, and they don't try to improve their generational training. They just go, well, I was taught that way, so this is how it is, which isn't a great mindset. If you want your years of experience to count for something, you have to be educating yourself and investigating, doing research, and improving your abilities through those years of experience. Otherwise, years of experience don't mean anything because you haven't learned anything since the first 5 days of your horse lessons back when you were 12. So I highly encourage you to do a lot of research on horses' behavioral mannerisms and get to know their body language and the kind of cues that they use so that we can avoid these kind of accidents. But moving on with leading your horse and lunging them. So a lot of people, and this was common through all the videos I've seen, they try to control the head, and once the horse starts pulling away from them and walking away, they try to just pull the head. And it's super easy for horses to pull through that kind of pressure, especially when you've taught them to pull through pressure because you never release pressure. So they've been taught to pull through pressure because release of pressure doesn't exist for them. When a horse is pulling away, it's super easy to just pull in their head, and Stella listens to pressure on the head. So it's a little bit hard to give a good example. But say she starts walking away and I'm trying to pull on her head, nothing's happening. When a horse starts pulling away, we're not just focusing on the head. We do want to put pressure on the rein. We're going to pinch that lead and pull it in towards us like this. If you have a straight hand like this, you don't have any leverage and the horse could easily pull that rope through your hand and you're gonna get rope burn and it's gonna be nasty. So you're gonna pinch that rein towards yourself and you're going to put immediate pressure on their back end and turn that back end over so it's no longer facing you and you are no longer in line of sight of fire if that horse is pissed off at you. So if we're lunging our horse and that horse is acting as if it's going to spin its hindquarters at you, you're going to again pinch that rein and turn those hindquarters out. My hands are freezing, so my hands aren't working properly right now. If you're having issues with a kicky horse or something, always keep a whip, a stick, or a flag or something with you so that you can put pressure on the hindquarters. And pressure doesn't always mean contact. A lot of times we have to use contact for the horse to know what the stick means, but we want to teach them with the lightest amount of pressure first. And it slowly builds and creates contact if they don't listen to the air or the pressure. So again, if you're lunging, leading your horse, and your horse is giving you pissy ears, immediately pinch that rein to your hip and put tons of pressure on that hindquarter and make them turn those hindquarters around. By controlling the hindquarters, you are controlling the head. The head does not control everything. You can't control the back end by just yanking on the head. You have to apply pressure towards you with the head and away from you with the butt. A couple of reasons why a horse might kick at you is, one, if they're afraid of you and you are coming into their space and doing something that freaks them out and it's a defense mechanism. Another reason they might kick at you is if you are being a nag, kind of like a little bug mosquito that's just annoying them, putting pressure on them, and again, like I was talking about, putting pressure on them and not giving them any sense of release. So they associate you with the pressure, and by releasing the pressure is to just get rid of you. And once they kick you, that pressure is gone, they have a release of pressure, they're home free, and because that works for release of pressure, it might become a habit of theirs. So it is quite dangerous, and you want to fix this behavior immediately, but you also do not want to train it in them. So by not excessively annoying your horse and not giving them a sense of release, by just lunging them constantly and keeping that pressure behind them going, whipping behind them the whole time. That is just like the, sibling scenario I was talking about earlier, where they're sitting there going, say sorry, say sorry, say sorry, say sorry. And you're going, sorry, 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 sorry. And nothing is working to get rid of that pressure. So you eventually turn to going, Mom, get off of me, whatever, kicking, whatever works to get your sibling to stop saying, say sorry, with the threat of zapping you with a shocker pen, whatever. Weird scenario, I know. But that relates a lot to sitting there putting tons of pressure on your horse the whole time they're doing what you're asking them, but you're still putting pressure on them. So that is annoying them, and they might have a reaction like kicking or biting or something to try to take that pressure off. So fear and annoyance are two reasons that your horse might kick at you. And another reason might be that, how I said all these girls in these videos I've seen, they looked oblivious to everything happening around them. So the horse needs and wants you to be confident and aware of your surroundings and aware of their body language and responsive to everything happening around them, so that they can trust your judgment and that you are aware of things that might scare them or what they are trying to tell you. It just gives them a sense of security to know that you are also aware of everything around you. So when you are handling a horse or lunging them, you need to be aware. You need to have a sense of confidence and security, and that will make the horse feel a lot more comfortable being around you. And if they feel like you don't have a good sense of judgment, you're not being aware, maybe you're not paying attention to their cues, they'll start treating you as if you're the horse at the bottom of the herd. So if they're feeling a sense of insecurity around us, they might just rather be somewhere else. Horses are very comfort seeking, and that's why they love their pen, being around their horses, love their shelter, because all of these things bring them comfort. They know that when they are with their buddies or in their shelter, they have comfort, they have release of the bad weather. So that's why horses become barn sour or buddy sour, because they're seeking the comfort of their buddies. So we need to give them that sense of security around us. So they don't need their buddies and their pen to feel secure and comfortable, because they can feel it around us. So I just wanted to go over that a little bit. I hope you guys had a wonderful Thanksgiving. I haven't experienced it yet, but I'm looking forward to it. I have to go make 4 different types of pies because I just am that way. Anyways, I hope you guys found this video helpful. If you did, give it a big like and subscribe. I post new videos every single Sunday, so don't forget to come back next week, and you can go follow me on Instagram and TikTok, and I'll see you guys next week, Sunday. Bye!